Welcome to Planet V. Well, it's not, it's actually Serum Studio, but this afternoon it is Planet V because we're here with the big boss man, Bryan Gee, along with Paul T and Serum. We're going to tell the V story by asking them to pick their favourite records from the V back catalogue. That's no mean feat because across V, Philly Blunt, Chronic and Liquid V, there's been over 400 releases and we've asked them to pick 2 each. How they're going to do it, we're not too sure. But this is the V story as told by Bryan, Paul and Serum. Let's check the selections.
You guys are crazy, man. You like asking me to choose 2 tracks out of all the collection of V. That is really, really hard, man. I mean, wow. All I can say is I'm going to pick this track because I'm just talking not even like my favourite, which it probably is one of my favourites, but for what it did to the label, what it brought to the label and what followed the label after releasing this track. You know, with so much things, so that's why I'm choosing LK. Because, you know, it opened up the doors for V recordings. Just put the label on a different level, you get what I'm saying? And it was just such a great track as well, and the whole story of how it came about, you know, I mean, going to Brazil, only thinking that football and coffee came from Brazil, and then someone told me that some guys called it a night movement, and we went out there. When Marky got on the decks, he blew me away, man. I was like, wow, smiling and jumping on the decks and smashing up the dance, and I've never seen drum and bass DJ smile, fist pump, and just look so happy, you get what I'm saying? This guy is like turning turntables upside down. I don't even know how the needle stays on the, I'm like, what's he, I'm like flabbergasted. I'm like, what the is going on here? This track almost slipped me as well because he sent it to Marcus, Intellect, and Marky said, oh yeah, I have this track and Marcus don't like it, so if you want, you can have it. And I'm like, okay, let me have it.
Listen.
And straight away I was like, wow, yeah, this track's great. So we signed it, and then Stamina would be always singing on this track, you get what I'm saying? And like, we got the vocals recorded, and the track even turned bigger than it was, you get what I'm saying, with Stamina's vocals on it, and it turned into an anthem. And yeah, it was one of our biggest sellers and one of our greatest tracks on V recordings. Big up Marky. Big up XRX as well, because he's like one of those forgotten heroes, and he was so instrumental in making that track. And big up Stamina for putting some icing on it and making it such a special tune, yeah? Yeah, Jumping Jack Frost is not here, but we got to bless his track here. Something he recorded with Dillinger in 1994, I think it was. He went into the studio with Dillinger and came out with a monstrous anthem. I mean, you know, I don't think you can get jungle tunes bigger than that tune there. Big Bad and Every Leviticus. It was a monster tune, and just came out of nowhere. You know, it's like, it was all just like a quick thing, just a little roller. And sometimes those are the ones, you probably know that as well, innit?
Sometimes it's, you come out, you got a big idea, and then you make something in like 2 hours afterwards.
Yeah.
And that's the big tune, like that's the tune that everybody
just
likes.
Just one take into Dillinger's with his samples and out the same day. And we just had one of the biggest tunes, biggest jungle tunes ever, you know what I mean? It's everybody, or, you know, it was a time when jungle was at its peak, and just everywhere you walked or went in South London, from the shops, cars, you would hear jungle getting popped out, you get what I'm saying?
It's like a lesson in sampling, isn't it, really? Like what different things you can put together to make the track, like how many hooks you can ram in there.
Pete Tong come sniffing around, and he wanted to sign it for London Records, so we just said, yeah, no problem, we're great, you know what I mean? Wow, what a tune, Big Bad and Every.
If you can have a good look at this, the first ever Ronnie Size on V, which you ain't going to really recognise what it sounds like, you know, compared to what he does now.
It was good hearing that tune again, man.
Yeah,
it's serious,
yeah.
just like, played it for years.
I mean, the one I've picked is just every track on there is really good, but
which is your favourite?
It's the one with the most sort of sounds in it. I mean, I love them all, I just really love this release because it wasn't one of those massive tunes, but it was, you know, the first release Ronnie Size did, you know.
Yeah,
so
the two tracks
really
I think that I heard a lot that everybody was smashing on that EP was All the Crew, and there was a track called Agility. Yeah, we're going to press them up and put them all back out again, so watch out for that.
So next one I've chosen, another, well, Ronnie Size Undercover, Bonanza Kid, which should know. If you were a raver back then, you definitely will know. This one actually like kind of sits in the structure of how things are now. We've got a pretty quick intro, the sample from, it's either Fistful of Dollars or Few Dollars More, isn't it? Jaw Harp thing. It's kind of the bass lines like Bonanza, isn't it? Or is it?
Yeah, that's what everybody kind of related it
or
to, isn't it?
It might even be a different one. Like,
no. But I think
was
it's
it
a bit
Magnificent
different.
Seven? I think it was,
one
or
of them
something
ones,
like
yeah.
that. Yeah, but then with just played with the big sort of wobbly bass that.
And that was the thing about jungle
trademark.
back in the day, innit? It was just like, you know, it was fun. And that just sounded fun, you get what I'm saying? And, you know, it sampled fun things and stuff. Boom, boom, ba-dum, boom, ba-dum. It was just funky. And one of the probably biggest Philly 12s, I mean, you know, both
really
sides,
sought after.
Both sides were just completely massive, huge anthems right now. And tunes that still get played right now up to this day, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Wicked release that was, man. Always on fire at that time.
We're going to just start off with one of my earliest tunes from V that I remember that I fell in love with, which is the Ronnie Size and the Time Stretch tune.
Ping.
Ding. Just have fond memories being out clubbing, Laserdrome, Peckham Rye, about that sort of time, 93, 94. And just thinking it was such an amazing tune. Loads of vibes, wicked bass line, beats chopping up all over the place. And just sort of got me on that. I'd love to sort of write stuff like that, really, you know, and that was kind of the thoughts and stuff like that behind it.
I think on V, this tune, it marked where the style got to that real simple kind of jungle style, because some of the early tunes were quite complicated. There was a lot of stuff in them. You made me think, like, if you had that number of samples and themes, you could probably make 7 tunes these days out of what was put in one tune, but it was real stripped back. I think it kind of really set what Ronnie Size was going to go on and do.
I liked a lot of labels, but this was the one for me at that time. You know, this was the one for me. I was like, wow, that's a top tune. The second tune I've picked is Adam F. Brand New Funk. It was huge.
Absolutely
it was
huge.
huge, and it was just like so different from anything else at that time. Just the sort of mad funk elements, and then just goes into some sort of crazy bass, and then it has that complete different change at the end.
Yeah,
which
and
is
it's
just
like
a massive composition of a song. You know, it's
the
fantastic.
most like epic intro, and it got reload when it first come out. Well, not really came out, when it first started getting played. Every DJ would play it, every DJ would reload it, and you heard that intro say, you know, like 16 times a night if you went to the whole rave, probably.
This tune was just, for me, was just completely, another one that was just completely different, just set a bar, you know what I mean?
What can I say, man? How can we do a V selection without DJ Die? Yeah? I mean, these are the king of the rollers, but this guy here, Die.
He was,
you know that, innit? You know what I mean? You guys are running that title now. We're proud of that because you're rolling it out. But when Die was doing this stuff, man, he was incredible, man, and incredible producer, man. I mean, the first time I come across Die was his music, actually. I met Ronnie and Cross first, and then they sent me a load of demos, and one of them just was a DJ Die track, but he had his name sampled and it kept saying Die, Die, Die. So I just thought it was a Ronnie track, and so I didn't know it was Die, you get what I'm saying? And then, like, when I finally met him, he was just like the crazy one out of the bunch. You know what I'm saying? He was just like this mad, crazy, full of fun, always having a laugh and always up to mischief and stuff. And
his music was always kind of calm though. It's quite mad. It's like some people like get their energy out on the music, and his was like calm and funky. And
but when he came with this track, Special Treat, Something Special, it was just all over, man. Trust me, man. So yeah, bad tune. It's one of those tunes where when it drops, man, everybody go mad in the place, man. It's just like proper B-line roller, you know what I'm saying? And like, yeah. But when I listen to Die, the way he cuts his breaks up is like...
Yeah, it's just he's got the total style of his own, the way he does it, and it's the layering and the groove to it. There's no one who can do it like he can. He's never made anything bad. Like I don't think he's ever made anything bad.
And he's a great person to work with. He like if you notice some of Die's best works is collaborations as well. Like he does like the Scorpio.
He brings the best out of people.
Yeah.
Like,
he does the Scorpio stuff with Ronnie, and then he does the Comanche stuff with Cross. He works good with people. I said to and I brought this up to him one time, and he was like, you know, it brings it out of him when he works with people. You know, he enjoys it. Fine.
Just take me back to those first couple of years, because it just sounded so explosive, just everything going on.
First of all, if you're looking to start a business or label, don't listen to me. Because everything just kind of just fell into place, you know. Sometimes I just wake up and I think to myself, wow. I'll take it back to when V started. I'm there sitting in Rhythm King. There was these demos coming from some guys from Bristol called Ryan, and it really sounded good. It was like early jungle, ravey stuff and all that. Just at that time, the label went down, so I took the tapes with me. I thought, oh, what am I going to do with this stuff and all that? Just really not even thinking about setting up a label, just thinking as a DJ, I just want to play these tunes and stuff. You know, because we're DJs, we're always hungry for tunes. We just want the next tune, you get what I'm saying? And so we went down to Bristol, called up the guy, Ronnie. Well, didn't know his Ryan at the time, you get what I'm saying? So I called him up and he said, yeah, come down. And he was excited, and then like, I turned up with Frost.
They were buzzing about that, I remember him saying.
That time Frost is just like one of the biggest DJs around. It's like turning up with Andy C or something, you get what I'm saying? They're like, oh, you know what I mean? Jumping Jack Frost is in our house, you get what I'm saying? So the deal was almost signed, lockdown already. Just bringing Frost there, kind of like seal the deal, because they were like, rah, you get what I'm saying? These guys are interested in my music. They couldn't believe it. So like, I said, yeah, I'm interested in starting a label. And they just like, Ronnie and Crosses, yeah, let's go, let's do it. So we cut all the stuff off cassette. We didn't even know with that. We cut them off cassette. We played them at the Eclipse Club in Coventry that night. And like, everything sounded good and all that. So we said, yeah, we're gonna sign this stuff up. There's this pub next to a record shop just behind Camden Market. And the record shop was called Vinyl Experience. So we saw us drinking the pub and stuff. And I saw the pub and, you know what I mean? And I'm outside one day and I'm thinking of a name for the record, for the label. So I just nicked it off that record. I just nicked it off the record store, Vinyl Experience, you get what I'm saying?
So then Philly Blunt came along, pretty much within like a couple of years of that.
Philly Blunt came along because like we was doing V recordings and it was like more just straight drum and bass, jungle and not so much jungle, but more like your drum and bassy. And so when Frost went into the studio and did the Burial with Leviticus, that was just so different from everything else that was on V. And so we thought, you know, let's make a different imprint to kind of like go with this kind of vibe of music. So and that time the jungle thing was really blowing up, so we wanted to kind of do more jungle, but we didn't want to put it on V. I don't know why. We could have just put it on V and everything could have been on V.
The schedule was so packed as well, so you just had so much stuff.
That's our next thing as well, which kind of like was really important. That at the time there was so much music coming out. You know, that's why we had all these labels, Chronic and stuff, because there was just so much music coming out. So they were outlets. So that was part of the reason. But we wanted something with a different sound because, you know, Philly Blunt, we wanted to kind of delve more into the pure jungle, hip-hop kind of urban vibe.
And then Chronic. within 2 years then, and that was like, you know, you had Trinity, obviously Dillinger, Reiki.
Chronic came about just like what you were saying earlier on. The guys are on fire. Every weekend they're DJing, and every weekend they want to make new music. And all these music just build up to like big tunes, great tracks, and we just didn't have the schedule enough to put them out on V. They started their own label, Full Cycle. They had Dope Dragon, I had Philip Blunt, and it still wasn't enough to get all this music out.
So let's jump now 8 years on then from the launch of Chronic to 2004, I think it was, with Liquid V. And that first, I mean, that showed a completely other different side.
Yeah,
Beautiful
Liquid V was
music.
me trying to change the world now, right? and this is just off the back of us coming from Brazil.
Yep.
With the Brazilians, and their sort of sound was more soulful, you get what I'm saying? And you know, the samba, the Brazilian stuff, so it kind of was almost like that Liquid thing. So I thought, you know what? My idea was approach all the artists that we were working with and to get them to make soulful music. You know, like Fresh, Dillinger, and Ronnie and everybody. I said, you know, I want to start a label. I want to challenge you lot to, and they were like, yeah, start it. But none of them gave me anything. You get what I'm
So
saying?
that's why I started with remixes then, that New Tone remix and Comics remix.
Comics now, all that started now because I'm in the office one day and Newton comes down to the office with his brother, Logistics and Comics. And they're all in the
office. Oh yeah, because it was all from Cambridge, isn't it? Of course,
they're all in the office and we're all chatting. This is, I think, before they signed for Hospital and stuff. You know, I connected with Calibre and got some bits of Calibre, and yeah, that's how, you know what I mean, that's how the Liquid thing kind of like.
Amazing, and that kind of painted the full picture of everything that you guys have represented, really. That was the final piece of the puzzle, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, that's me,
musically,
you know what I mean?
The
you know, I love Liquid V, you get what I'm saying, you know, and it's me getting older as well, so like, you get what I'm saying, you know, listen, let's not get it wrong. Give me that dirty B line and I'm all over it still, you get what I'm saying? But when you get older, you start appreciating that kind of music a bit more, you get what I'm saying? And I've always liked the soulful stuff in D&B. I've always liked the soulful side of it, so it was a no-brainer to start Liquid V, you know what I'm saying?
Awesome, man. So 25 years, I know you've got a lot planned this year. Tease us.
Well, yeah, it started from last year, really. We started late, you get what I'm saying? Kind of forgot about it until it was almost 25 years. I'm like, hold on a sec, we're almost 25, so...
This is one of those things you don't want to admit. It's like when you're turning 30 or something.
Yeah. And so we just kind of like said, yeah, let's just do something special, you get what I'm saying? So we're just compiling this album now, which I've been compiling for about a year. And I'm glad because I'm taking my time. I want it to be special, a real great album. We've been touring all over the world and just getting love, and it's been great. You know, 25 years we've been doing this thing, and just, you know, you don't think about it, you just do, because, you know, I'm not one to keep looking back, you get what I'm saying? I'm always trying to look forward to the next thing. But it's been good to celebrate 25 years and to see how much people have been following the label, what it means to a lot of people. I've been all sorts of places. People have got like the V artwork tattooed all over their bodies. Proud to see that something that we've, you know, is done. People have like taken it to heart where, you know what I mean, they do things like that. And just like listening to people and saying how much V has inspired them, or the music and stuff on V has inspired them and what it's done to them. It's just enough for me to kind of like want to continue. So it's been great.